Hey everybody, Edo here, and this is Quantum. Now, you might not think it since I made Liftoff and Gem Pack cards, which both are space themes, but I don't usually buy space games. But after I played this with a friend, I just instantly bought it. This game is fantastic. It was designed by Eric Zimmerman, who has been doing video game and live game design out of Game Lab for, like over a decade. He's incredible. I had no idea that he made board games. Now I do. And this is this fun, tight, little tactical space game that has all these little neat nuances. So really quick, the game's simple. You're playing one of 4 races. It's for 2 to 4 players. The races aren't significant, but they're still cool. And what you're using is dice that represent your ship, but each dice face is a different ship type. And the number on the die is how many movement points they get. So this is a grid, and you're going to be moving around the grid. The 5 can go 5 spots, 3 spots, 2 spots, etc., in the hopes of getting all of your quantum cubes placed on the board. The moment, and everyone starts with 1, and that's like their home planet, but the moment every one player has placed all their quantum cubes, they win. That's the win condition. On your turn, you get 3 actions. It's fast-paced. It really does the job. Now, actually, I think I have another one. On your card, you have your colored dice, obviously, but there are a couple things going on here. So, one is the ship types. So, great. Big card, great. The components of this game are fantastic. Now, quality, print. I will note these are much talked about dice. I think they were made with resin. I don't know exactly what the print was, but they look and feel awesome. But they have this, I don't know if it's heat related or what, but they leave this resin a little bit on the inside of the box, and you can really see it on black. So I know a lot of people have complained about it. It doesn't bother me that much, but worth note. But anyway, so to start, you have your 6 ships, and the 1 is the battleship, and it each has 1 ability, and it's got a bonus for attacking. The flagship has the transport ability, which lets you bring a ship along with you as you move. The destroyer has the warp ability, which you can take your ship and switch it with any other on the board. Very powerful. The frigate can modify, so it can change from starting as a 4. It can instantly turn to a 5, or use the ability to turn to 5 or turn to a 3. So switch ships, very useful. The Inceptor is the 5, and it can go diagonally and attack diagonally. And lastly, you have the Scout, which is the 6, which can use its ability to re-roll. And once per turn, you get one. You can use 1 die ability for free. That doesn't count towards your action attacks. So, and sorry, I misspoke. Each die, you can use each ability on each die once. So that's why it's so important. So, put this down for a second. You're trying to place quantum cubes. You place quantum cubes in one of 2 ways. One, you can, every time you attack somebody, you can raise your dominance die. When your dominance die hits 6, you get a quantum cube. The more common way of doing it, however, is each one of these planets has a number of slots for quantum cubes, but you can't really see it, but they have sort of these adjacent squares that you can move your ships to. Now, it's a full grid, but at these squares, what you're doing is you're trying to hit this number, so that's an 8. So once I have 2 or 3 ships in place that total 8 points, 4 and 4 are a value of 8, I can then spend 2 action points to place a quantum cube. If you place a cube at the end of your turn, you can draw one of these cards. The white cards are sort of long-term abilities, or ways of play that are little helpful things, like an extra little bonus move, or getting a bonus on attack, that kind of thing, because you're tyrannical or you're warlike. It's like a sort of or tactical. And then the black ones, and you can choose either. The black ones are more like get an extra ship, or get 2 extra moves at the end of your turn. So they're immediate actions. So enchantments and instants for those who play Magic. But anyway, so and another interesting thing is as you're moving around, 6 gets you to move the furthest, 1 the least, right? But what's the other neat little thing that happened in this game? So is combat. So in combat, you're next to somebody and you go to attack them, and the way it works is, and now 6 would never attack a 1, a 1 probably would attack a 6, is each of you has a die and you roll, and then you add the numbers together, and the lowest wins. It's the opposite of normal, right? The lowest wins. So now I have a 12, and then I have a 4. So this guy would win, the ship's destroyed, goes to the scrapyard, has to be brought in. So that's the basic play. It's really quick, it's easy to set up, it's easy to get into. What really makes this game so fabulous is you're working towards these quantum cubes. It's very clear that you can see where somebody's going, what somebody's trying to do. Everyone else is trying to do the same thing at the same time, and along the way, you're attacking or blocking or somehow interrupting other players from doing that, or trying to do yours first. But the dynamic of the dice rolling, so if you reconfigure ship, you re-roll your die, creates like one of my favorite things. I call it dynamic tactics. Whatever it is, it's when you're playing on your turn and you need to think on your feet. You need to be willing to abandon a strategy and take on a new one and react to the board as it develops. It allows you to have an idea of what you want to do. You still can have a strategy, but really your turn is your turn and you're playing it then. And I really, really enjoy that in games. I'm good at it, which is probably why. But I think it just makes for your turn to feel dynamic and fun. And this is really tight, really well balanced, super smart, just excellent, excellent game. Highly recommended. So, Quantum. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. More importantly, play some great games. Thanks. Bye.